We're at the Fresno Diocese Congress here in the Visalia Convention Center, and I'm sitting with Mel Kennedy. She's an award-nominated singer and recording artist, a motivational speaker, and a liturgical consultant. Welcome, Mel, and thank you for giving your time here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Let's just jump right into it. You're here providing music and speaking about music. How did you get involved in that?
From an early age, I was involved in choir at church, then started doing lecturing at church. So just kind of finding my way in what I wanted to do. And then I fell in love with the liturgy. So as I've continued on through life, I've done a lot of studying about music, about cantoring, and I'm currently working on my master's degree from the Catholic Theological Union and getting that in liturgical ministry.
Awesome. So you're pretty busy.
Yes, I am right now. I'm currently working on my thesis, so if I make it through the next few months, it'll all be good.
Now, you're someone who obviously has found their gifts and given that up to the Lord and serving the church in many aspects. How do you recommend or any advice for those who are searching, young and old, to find their gifts and then finding where to give their gifts?
A few weeks ago, I did a session at another conference called Discovering Your Spiritual Gifts. And I think it takes, first of all, just wanting to find them. Taking that time to say, I know that I have received gifts from God, and then doing some discernment. There's all kinds of tools that you can use on the internet where you can do these spiritual gift evaluations, but then just trying different things and realizing maybe you want to try to be a lector, but if that is not your gift, it's okay. Maybe your gift might be in hospitality. But I think it's kind of learning what we can do. What are we good at? What do we like to do? If we're a real people person, then maybe the hospitality ministry, homebound ministry. So I think it's also working with groups at our church, trying to discern what our gifts might be and finding that placement, but then also realizing that our gifts can be used outside of the church. Doing different work, going to nursing homes, working possibly in an animal shelter, just finding ways that something that we're good at that we can give back to the community, because that's really what we're all about, and we can't be really who God created us to be until we're fully expressing those gifts.
Now, you've been in ministry for a while, right?
Yeah, in and out of ministry, yes. You know, every time you try to slip away, God pulls you back in.
How does music and going to school, getting your master's here, what has that done for your faith personally?
It is through music that I can truly immerse myself in prayer. It's where I find comfort. It's where I find inspiration. 4 years ago, when my mother passed away, that was the most difficult time in my life. She worked with me in my ministry, and it was through music that I found healing, that I found God's mercy and grace and comfort. But then music also is just fun and can give us energy and gives us what we need to go out again to share our gifts with the world.
Absolutely. Music, to me personally, music adds so much to our worship. In the liturgy, it's so much. And if it's done correctly, almost nobody notices it. You know, they expect it, and I think it's very beautiful. And I heard some of your music online, and I was like, yeah, that fits. That fits. You know, I was like, this is perfect for it. Now, your music ministries, there's some parishes throughout the whole world that have maybe no music ministry at all, or a very slow-growing music ministry. What do you say to those who are thinking about joining a music ministry, or those who are leading a music ministry and just struggling through that?
it's important, first of all, for people working in music ministry to really learn about the liturgy, learn about what music's purpose is in the liturgy. And then remembering that music is there to enhance the liturgy. And if we're not enhancing the liturgy, then sometimes we might need to step back to encourage those people to join music ministries or to look at starting programs. We can start so simply, just starting with singing the Eucharistic acclamation, singing the gospel acclamation, and then slowly developing a program and adding more music over time. And it doesn't have to be an elaborate ensemble. It can be simple guitar accompaniment, simple piano, organ. A cappella can work, but it has its challenges, yes. So I don't always recommend that. But just really getting in there and knowing that there might be some pushback sometimes from assembly, and we have to give them the time and opportunity to embrace the music as well. So it's a two-sided relationship there, that you have to work together with your assembly as well, giving them a chance if you haven't had music there.
Now you've touched on it a little bit about the importance of music, but let's see if we can go a little deeper into that. What does your ministry bring, which it does bring many things, but what does it bring in your words to the Mass or to our church?
I'll talk about it to the church overall. What I try to do with my music is allow people to really enter into prayer and into relationship with God. So if they're listening to my music, a lot of it does revolve around healing, so that they can do that. And if they're singing along, they can actually feel that healing. They can feel God's love coming through not only my voice, but through them singing along or the music behind it. In liturgy, when I am there singing, and particularly as a psalmist, I hope I am leading the assembly in prayer. My job is not to sing a solo or be a great singer that day. My job is to have the assembly join me in the responsorial psalm as a psalmist, and at some point of the psalm actually give the song to them, so that they can actually be a voice in this prayer that we are doing.
Participate.
Yes.
No. And I think I just recently got the vocabulary that I needed to express that liturgy, the Mass, is something that everybody participates, celebrates together, right? Yes. Can you go a little bit deeper about that?
Well, we're called to have active and conscious and full participation in the liturgy. And we need to think about what participation is. And it can be singing, but it can also be active listening when we hear the readings and the gospel proclaimed, the Eucharistic prayer, that we're there praying with the presider. So we're participating in our gestures, our posture, listening, singing, responding with word. Even if we're sitting quietly sometimes, just in prayer, discernment, reflection, there's a lot of ways that we can participate in liturgy. And one of the best ways we can do that, though, is if we prepare ourselves before we go to liturgy, that we know about our liturgy, we know about our seasons, and we know about our Mass, our beautiful Catholic Mass.
Now, obviously, the music that we play in Mass has a beautiful message, and it has that, it's there to enhance our celebration. Now, in secular music, on the radio, on CDs, online, the message is maybe not as positive. Yeah. Now, many people are saying, I've heard, they cut that out completely. Now, do you find beauty in the music other than Christian music, other than music being used for Mass? How do you handle that? Do you pick and choose?
I pretty much pick and choose. I don't listen to a lot of music on the radio. I am a ESPN sports radio gal, so Go Steelers. But I do like, in particularly like in country music, oftentimes you'll hear a lot of faith-based music that I enjoy. Some of the other music, I think it's really important to think about if it has a negative message. We have to be really careful because we put garbage in and it produces garbage out. So I do shy away from music that does not have a positive message. I really like things that feed us good stuff, because we have to constantly be feeding. There's enough already negative things out there, so I don't like songs with negative words or a negative message that would degrade people or just talk about inappropriate behaviors.
Thank you very much, Mel, for your insight and letting us behind the scenes of what you do. Again, thank you for your time here. And do you have a website or anywhere that people can hear your music? Or
Absolutely. It's very easy. It's just www.melkennedy.com.
Simple enough.
Simple.
Thank you very much,
My
Mel.
pleasure.
That's it for this closer look at technology and the church. We want to give a special thanks to the Diocese of Fresno's Office of Ministries for the support of this program, and the Visalia Convention Center for welcoming us into this outstanding facility. From the Fresno Diocesan Congress, I'm Edgar Guzman, and thank you for joining us.